Hey, what's up, everyone? I want to welcome you guys to another episode of Here's What I Think with your host, Charles Tabansi, where we discuss everything from current events, economics, politics, and how it all relates to business and life. And today, folks, we have a hell of a show in store for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Folks, the U.S. presidential election will be here in 4 days. It is about to go down, as they say. And I just can't wait. I think all of us are sitting here on pins and needles waiting to see what the outcome is going to be. And I've already made peace with myself. I'm not sleeping on Tuesday. I'm going to watch every single minute of the election coverage because I just cannot wait. And this election has a lot of people, on edge, and people are cussing each other out all over the internet. And that's something that we definitely want to get into today. But before we get into that, let's just get into some quick polling data here. So I'm pulling this up from 538.com. And folks, is a close race. Yesterday I checked it. The polls were looking a little bit different. Now I'm checking it today. Things have changed a little bit. So just going to give you guys a quick snapshot. In Nevada, which is a battleground state, we're going to pull up Pennsylvania. We're going to pull up Wisconsin. We're going to pull up Michigan. We're going to pull up North Carolina. And we're going to pull up Georgia. So let's take a quick look at Nevada. Right now, the polls are saying dead even. Dead tie. Donald Trump 47.6 to Kamala Harris is 47.5. That's a tie. If you go to Pennsylvania, all right, there is showing Donald Trump with a slight lead, funny enough, after this whole debacle, of 47.9 to 47.6. Then we have Wisconsin. Polls are saying Kamala has a plus 0.7 advantage, 48.2 to 47.4. That's still a tie. If you look at Michigan, Kamala has a full 1.1 percentage point over Trump, 48 to 47. You look at North Carolina, which is another battleground state. Donald Trump has a 1.3 lead over her there. And then finally, we look at Georgia, where Trump is leading with 1.6%. He's up by 1.6 points in that particular race there. So it's still a very close race, and I think all of us are waiting to see what the outcome is going to be on Tuesday. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be out there voting. I've already voted. I'm sure some of you watching this show have voted already. But anyway, that's not what I want to get into today. I want to get into a segment that I saw, was it yesterday, on Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, when it comes to riling people up on the internet, getting people to cuss each other out on the internet, no one does it better than Piers Morgan, especially when it's related to political issues. Right? He had a panel which featured Cenk Uygur, Wajat Ali. They had Ben Ferguson, and they had Emily Austin, and they were essentially talking about the things, the recent comments that Joe Biden made, gaffe rather, that he made when he was referring to Donald Trump supporters as garbage. And it basically set the stage for an all-out brawl on that show. So what we want to do is we want to play a quick compilation of some of the highlights. It's an hour-long show, so we can't play everything, but we just want to play some of the parts that we thought were pretty interesting, and then we're going to come back and react to what they had to say. Take a listen to these guys here.
Because I'm about to tell you how ridiculous you guys are. But first, let me acknowledge things that are true. So number one, Biden shouldn't have said it. Look, my co-host on the Young Turks, Anna Kasparian, has been trying to get everybody to stop attacking the voters themselves. I think she's absolutely right about that. I've been guilty of that in the past, and we're trying to get past this. So Biden shouldn't have said that. On the other hand, Biden's senile. I mean, look at that clip that you played, stuttering up Puerto Rico, Delaware, and we're still. You guys said he was senile and should get out of the race. Now you're like, oh, no, he means it. He's perfectly cogent. He represents all Democrats. So
well, hang on.
By the way, don't say things like,
hang on.
Okay, here we go. Of course.
Just to be clear, just to be clear.
Ben speaks for 2 minutes, and I always get interrupted.
No, you'll have plenty of time. But just to be clear, he remains the president of the United States. Joe Biden hasn't quit. He remains in the Oval Office running your country. So I'm sorry to jump in
Piers,
and point out that we may think he's senile, which I do, but he's still running your country.
Okay, Piers, you know my position on Biden. I ran against him because I thought he was senile and I thought it was ridiculous. But now all of a sudden you're pretending he's not senile. He is senile. It's like getting mad at somebody with Alzheimer's. What are you getting mad at him for? Well, that's ridiculous. But that's not the point, guys. Look, I'm granting you that he definitely shouldn't have said that. And Debbie Dingell definitely shouldn't have said internment camps because Trump never said that. Now, having said that, guys, are you really pretending to be offended after you've supported Donald Trump, who has said everything in the
not
world about
pretending. I
left-wing
am
voters,
offended.
radical left lunatics. Hey, here we go again. No interruptions. He's called them radical left lunatics, Marxist, communist, fascist. He said that we should use the military to attack the enemy from within. And then you're pretending that all of a sudden you caught feelings?
Not pretending.
MAGA, do better than that. You're being ridiculous and you know it. Now you're snowflakes. Now you're a snowflake.
Okay,
Let's talk about
Vajra, I mean, look,
How about
I
your
think
values?
whatever. Hang
all
on,
Trump
Jake. I'll
does is
come back to
attack
you.
us
No, no, Jake, let me-
8,000 times and you
We don't
totally
call you
ignore
Hitler.
that.
We don't
Hang
call
on,
you
let me
Hitler.
bring-
We don't say she
Guys,
go
let
to
me-
camps
hang
for
on,
re-education.
He's
hang
called
on.
us every name in the book. He
Hang
has.
on,
He's
we're
called
coming
us
to Hitler.
fascist. He's called us
We're
Marxist.
coming to Hitler. We're coming to Hitler, which is now only the second most offensive thing of the week. Vajra, from a political point of view, the stupidity of what Biden did can't be overstated, really, because Kamala Harris, I watched it last night. Look, I think she talks a lot of word salad nonsense. Honestly, I do. She wouldn't inspire me to open a crisp packet, let alone vote for her. However, she's the Democrat nominee. The polls are absolutely neck and neck, particularly in the swing states. The very last thing she would have wanted when she's presented her final argument to the nation is for Joe Biden, the guy she's replaced, who's still her president, to pop up on a Skype call of all things and say this kind of thing, which, whether it's been misinterpreted or not, and I don't think it has been, it's just such a gift to Republicans, isn't it?
This is me playing the world's smallest violin for all the fake outrage of MAGA and Trump supporters, who I believe are the most fickle, brittle, weak people on earth, who can dispense cruelty and demand civility,
Great outreach
who
to
hate
voters.
safe spaces for everyone, want safe spaces for themselves, and who, by the way, with this
Great
hypocritical
outreach.
fake outrage, the reason why I don't think most people will care is because people
deplorables.
know what Trump is for the past 9 years. And just yesterday, Donald Trump, who is running for president, Joe Biden is not, and Joe Biden, he's 81 years old, he has a stutter, and by the way, I appreciate the context that he gave. I don't think he needed to, but he did. Donald Trump yesterday, final pitch to the country. You know what he called America? A garbage can. Donald Trump said all of us, 340 million Americans, live in a garbage can. Yes, he did. Yesterday in his speech, he said America is a garbage can. Yesterday, Donald Trump said Democrats, who are the majority, are sick and evil people. Yesterday, folks, Donald Trump, when
When you start
confronted
calling people
with these
Hitler, it's a
offensive
good
comments,
context. If you talk about context,
let
that's
me finish,
context.
Ben, don't gish gallop. Ben, I'm about to kick your ass. Don't gish gallop. Just listen to me. I listen to you.
Dude, you're like a
Yesterday,
buck 20,
when Donald
and this
Trump
is
was
what
Donald Trump incited a violent insurrection, and just 2 weeks ago at Univision, when the 56-year-old Latino construction worker asked him to apologize for it, he didn't. And you saw that view of those Latino women. He is going to lose. I'm here for the MAGA tears. They're sugar from my chai.
Okay. He said for the
It's a
MAGA
great
tears, Ben.
talking point.
Are you prepared to start
I
crying?
go back to, and this is why I feel like it's going to be a very strong election night. There's nothing that was just talked about that matters to the people that are hurting and suffering in this country right now. Nothing that was just said there was
Unleashing the
unifying.
military?
Nothing that was just said there was about the concerns of people that are struggling in this country with inflation, with illegal immigration, with convicted terrorists coming across the border, with those that are convicted of murder and rape that are coming across the border. There is zero concern for the American people in your closing argument. And this is the reason why Donald Trump will win on election night.
Ben, do you
because
agree?
when your only thing
Do you
you can
agree with
do
Donald
and come
Trump?
out and say is, if I disagree with you, I'm going to kick your ass, which, by the way, goes back to what you guys do.
No,
We
no,
don't like you,
Ben-
we lock you up. We imprison you. We put you in prison.
Ben, do you
we
agree?
come after
Do you agree with
lawfare.
Donald Trump?
And then you're
Yeah.
like, I don't like, I'm going to kick your ass. Like, this is your closing argument. You guys need to, like, get out of junior
I
high
wasn't the
and do
one.
better for the
I
American
didn't
people.
participate in a violent insurrection, Ben. I didn't
Neither did
participate
I,
in a
and I
violent
denounced
insurrection.
it when it
MAGA
happened.
people
So
did.
guess what? We're not all. See, this
Do
is
you
the
do- okay,
difference.
wait,
You
do-
guys hate half of America, and you don't understand that your hatred is
Piers, can I say
is
something?
saying everyone is bad when one person or two people do
let's
something
let
like
Emily
this.
say
Donald
something.
Trump hates
Hang
all
on.
of America.
Gentlemen, let's let the lady speak.
So you heard what they had to say. What are my thoughts on this? Look, there were a few things that they were arguing about. As you guys know, the comedian that was at the Donald Trump rally on Sunday in Madison Square Garden said what he said with the floating garbage, referring to Puerto Rico. That sparked all kind of backlash. They reacted to that. So what happened was Joe Biden was on a call or a Skype call or whatever the hell he was doing, and he ended up essentially calling Donald Trump supporters or people that support Trump garbage. And then the White House and some Democratic aides and people who cover politics were basically saying, no, the guy's senile, he's old, it was a mistake and all that. So the Republicans saw it as an opportunity to be like, well, you guys are making a big deal out of this comedian calling Puerto Rico trash, but here you have a sitting president that just referred to an entire voting block of tens of millions of people as garbage. And then Donald Trump had the photo op that he went out there in a garbage truck and all of that, right? So they were arguing that. Then Cenk Uygur was basically saying, you can't be serious because Republicans are the party that always says you guys are sensitive. Why are you taking things so seriously? So for you guys now to be crying, oh my gosh, you're hurting my feelings. Like, what's going on here? What essentially is going on is this. Let's cut through all the political BS for a second. What they're doing is this. They're just playing the usual games of politics. That a comedian had a epic gaffe at the most inopportune time. Whether you support Trump or not, no one can disagree with the fact that that was a stupid thing to say 6 days out to a presidential election. So you had that. So Democrats and people on the left pounced on that, right? As they should. But then what happened was Joe Biden also had his gaffe, and they're pouncing on what he had to say to try to sway voters. This is politics for you. This is politics for you. I think what they're doing is pretty much what happens in politics. So I'm not offended by it. And it's one of the reasons while I was listening to this conversation, this debate that they were having on that panel, I was laughing the whole way through because it was hilarious. And now what we have to figure out is how many people that watch that segment or are going to be watching people talking about what Joe Biden had to say or what the comedian had to say are going to be swayed in any particular direction. That's what we have to see. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about this exchange here? What do you think about our analysis? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we'll catch you guys on the next show.